I'm recording this because I need to say it out loud. Not for advice, not to fix anything, just to say it. My name is Arthur. I'm 88 years old now.
And there are words I didn't say 43 years ago that I can still hear in my head, word for word, exactly as I would have said them if I hadn't been so afraid. I remember the room. I remember what she was wearing. I remember the light coming through the kitchen window and how it made everything feel warmer than it actually was. I remember opening my mouth, and I remember closing it again. I don't know why I'm thinking about this now. Maybe it's because I have more time to think than I used to. Maybe it's because the things that felt urgent back then don't matter anymore, and the things I thought didn't matter are the only things left. I spent most of my life working. I was good at it. I provided. I was dependable. People trusted me to show up, to do what I said I'd do, to keep things running. I thought that was enough. I thought being steady was the same as being present. Her name was Claire. We were married for 31 years. She died in 2009. Pancreatic cancer. It was fast. I've been alone since then. The house is quiet now. In a way it never used to be. I notice sounds I didn't notice before. The hum of the refrigerator, the way the floorboards settle at night, the clock in the hallway that I never wound but somehow keeps ticking. I think about her every day, not in the way people say they do when they're trying to sound romantic or sentimental. I actually think about her. Specific moments, specific things she said. The way she looked at me sometimes when I came home late from work and didn't say anything, just nodded and went upstairs. I didn't know what that look meant back then. You don't know. The moment I'm talking about happened in 1982. March, early evening. We were in the kitchen. She was at the sink, washing dishes. I was sitting at the table with a cup of coffee, looking at some paperwork from the office. She said something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something about her day. Something small. I said, without looking up. She stopped washing the dishes. I felt it before I saw it. The silence was different. I looked up. She was standing there with her hands still in the water, not moving, just staring down at the sink. And then she said it. Arthur, do you even see me anymore? I froze. Not because I didn't understand the question, because I did, and I didn't know how to answer it. I opened my mouth. I had the words ready. I knew exactly what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, yes, I see you. I see you every day. I see you when I wake up, and when I come home, and when I fall asleep. I see you, and I don't know how to tell you that I'm terrified of losing you. So I stay busy, because if I stop and look at you for too long, I'll realize how much I need you, and I don't know how to live with that kind of need. That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't say it. I looked at her. I saw her hands in the water. I saw the way her shoulders were tight, like she was holding something in. And I said, of course I do. That's all. Of course I do. And then I went back to my paperwork. She didn't say anything after that. She finished the dishes, dried her hands, went upstairs. I stayed at the table for another hour, pretending to work. But I wasn't working. I was sitting there thinking about what I should have said, and I didn't go upstairs. I didn't follow her. I told myself it was fine. I told myself she was just tired. I told myself we'd talk about it later. We never did. Life went on. We didn't fight. We didn't argue. We just continued. She stopped asking me questions like that. I stopped pretending I didn't notice. We became polite. We became people who lived in the same house and slept in the same bed and sat at the same table, but didn't really touch each other anymore, not in the way that mattered. I thought that was normal. I thought that's what happened when you'd been married for a long time. I thought love was supposed to get quieter. It wasn't until years later that I realized what I'd done. Not all at once, slowly, in small moments that accumulated over time until I couldn't ignore them anymore. Like the way she started going to bed earlier, even though she wasn't tired. Like the way she stopped telling me about her day and started writing in a journal instead. Like the way she smiled at other people but not at me. Like the way she looked at me sometimes across the dinner table with an expression I couldn't read, and I would look away because I didn't want to know what it meant. I didn't understand it then. I thought I was doing everything right. I was working. I was providing. I was there. But I wasn't there. Not in the way she needed me to be. Not in the way I should have been. There was a night in 1995. We were watching television. Some movie I don't remember. She reached over and took my hand, just like that. Simple, quiet. I felt it. I felt her fingers curl around mine, and I didn't pull away. But I didn't hold back either. I just let my hand sit there in hers, loose, passive, like I was doing her a favor by not moving. After a few minutes, she let go. She didn't say anything. She got up and went to the kitchen to get water, even though she just had some. I sat there on the couch, staring at the TV, knowing something had just happened and pretending it hadn't. I think about that night more than I should, because it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't the kind of moment you'd put in a movie. It was just a hand, and me, not holding it back. But that's what it was, wasn't it? That was the whole marriage, condensed into one gesture, her reaching, me allowing it, but not reciprocating, her trying, me assuming that was enough. She got sick in 2008. The diagnosis came in October. They said she had maybe 6 months. She had 7. Those last months were the longest and shortest of my life. I took care of her. I did everything I could. I cooked. I cleaned. I sat with her. I held her hand when she couldn't sleep, and I thought, finally, I'm showing her. Finally, she knows. But one afternoon, near the end, she said something that stayed with me. We were sitting in the living room. She was in the recliner, wrapped in a blanket. I was next to her, reading the paper. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking out the window at the tree in the front yard, and she said, very quietly, "I wish I'd known you better." I stopped reading. I looked at her. She didn't look back. She just kept staring out the window. I didn't know what to say, so I said, "You know me, Claire." She smiled, a small, sad smile. "I know," she said, But I wish I'd known you. I didn't understand what she meant. Not then. I thought she was confused. The medication did that sometimes. But she wasn't confused. She was telling me the truth, and I didn't hear it. She died 3 weeks later, April 12th, 2009, in the hospital, early morning. I was holding her hand. She was asleep, or maybe she wasn't. I couldn't tell. The nurse said she probably couldn't hear me anymore, but I talked to her anyway. I told her I loved her. I told her she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I told her I was sorry. I told her all the things I should have been saying for years, and I don't know if she heard any of it. After she died, I went through her things. Not right away. It took me months, but eventually I did. I found the journal she'd been writing in. I almost didn't open it, but I did. There were entries going back years. Some of them were about her day, about the garden, about a book she was reading, but some of them were about me, about us. There was one entry from 1982, March, the same month. She wrote, I asked him if he sees me. He said yes, but I don't think he does. I don't think he even knows what I'm asking. I love him, but I'm tired of being invisible to the person who's supposed to see me most. I sat there on the bedroom floor, holding that journal, and I couldn't move. Because she was right. I didn't see her. Not really. I saw her as my wife, as the person who made dinner and folded laundry and kept the house running. But I didn't see her. I didn't see the person who needed to be known, not just lived with. I didn't see the person who was asking me every single day in 100 small ways to notice her. And I didn't. There was another entry from 1995, the night she took my hand. She wrote, I reached for him tonight. I don't know why. I just wanted to feel connected. He let me hold his hand, but it felt like holding air. I don't think he even noticed when I let go. I read that journal cover to cover, every page, every word, and with every entry, I realized how much I'd missed, how much I'd assumed, how much I thought I was giving when I was really just going through the motions. I don't know how to explain what it feels like to realize you failed someone after they're gone. Not because you meant to, not because you didn't care, but because you were so focused on doing what you thought was right that you never stopped to ask if it was what they needed. I thought love was about showing up, being there, being dependable, and it is. But it's not just that. It's also about seeing someone, really seeing them, not as a role, not as a function, but as a person who's standing right in front of you, asking to be known. I knew Claire for 31 years, but I don't know if I ever really knew her. I knew her routines. I knew her habits. I knew she liked her coffee with cream and no sugar. I knew she hated the cold. I knew she always went to bed with a book, but I don't know what scared her. I don't know what she dreamed about when she was younger. I don't know what made her feel most alive. I never asked, and she stopped telling me. There's a photograph I keep on the dresser. It's from our wedding day, 1951. She's smiling. I'm smiling. We look so young. We look like people who think they have all the time in the world. I look at that picture sometimes, and I try to remember what I was thinking that day. I think I was thinking about the future, about the life we were going to build together, about the house we'd buy and the kids we'd have and the years ahead of us. But I wasn't thinking about her. Not really. I was thinking about us in the abstract, not about who she was, what she needed, what she hoped for. I was thinking about the idea of marriage, not about the person I was marrying. I think that's what I got wrong. I thought marriage was something you built, like a house, like a career, something you worked on and maintained and kept running. But it's not a structure, it's a person. And you can't maintain a person. You have to know them. You have to keep knowing them, because people change. They grow. They shift. And if you're not paying attention, you wake up one day and realize you're living with a stranger. After I read her journal, I started thinking about all the moments I missed. Not the big ones, the small ones, like the time she cut her hair short and I didn't notice for 3 days, like the time she made a new recipe for dinner and asked me how it was and I said, "Fine," without really tasting it, like the time she told me about a dream she had and I interrupted her to take a phone call, like the time she dressed up for a dinner we were going to, and I didn't tell her she looked beautiful because I was worried we'd be late. None of those moments felt important at the time. They felt like nothing, just normal life. But they weren't nothing to her. I know that now, because she wrote about some of them, not in anger, not in bitterness, just in sadness. The kind of sadness that comes from being unseen by the person you most want to see you. There was an entry from 1989. It said, "I made his favorite dinner tonight. I even set the table with the good plates. He ate quickly and said it was good. Then he went to watch the news. I sat there alone, cleaning up, wondering if he even noticed. I tried. I don't remember that night. I don't remember what I was watching or why I left the table so fast. But she remembered. And that's the thing. I forgot. She didn't. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. How the things we forget are the things other people carry. How the moments we dismiss are the moments that define someone else's day. How silence, to us, might feel like nothing, but to them, it feels like everything. I think about that moment in the kitchen in 1982 when she asked if I saw her, and I think about the words I had ready, the words I didn't say. Yes, I see you. I see you every day. I'm terrified of losing you. I don't know how to tell you that I need you because I've spent my whole life pretending I don't need anyone. I think about how different things might have been if I'd just said it, if I'd been honest, if I'd let her see me too. Because that's the other thing I didn't understand. She wasn't just asking me to see her. She was asking me to let her see me, to stop hiding behind work and silence and the idea that being strong meant never admitting I was afraid. I thought vulnerability was weakness. I thought needing someone was something to be ashamed of. I thought being a man meant keeping everything inside and handling it on your own. And maybe that worked in some ways. But it didn't work in my marriage. It didn't work with her. She wanted to know me, and I wouldn't let her. Not because I didn't trust her, but because I didn't know how. I didn't have the language for it. I didn't know how to say, I'm scared, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I need you. So I said nothing, and she took that silence as distance. And maybe she was right. I sit in this house now, and I think about all the conversations we never had, all the words I kept locked inside because I thought keeping them in was the same as being strong, all the times she reached for me and I didn't reach back. And I can still hear those words, the ones I didn't say. They're exactly the same as they were 43 years ago. I can still feel them in my throat. I can still feel the weight of swallowing them down. People ask me sometimes if I have regrets. I usually say no, because what's the point? You can't go back. You can't undo anything. But if I'm being honest, which I guess I am now, yes, I have one regret. I regret not saying the words when I had the chance. I regret believing that love was something you showed through action and not through words. I regret thinking that being present was the same as being open. I regret waiting until she was dying to tell her everything I should have been telling her all along. And I regret that I'll never know if she hurt me, if any of it reached her, if she died knowing that I loved her, not just as a husband, but as a person who saw her, who needed her, who would have been lost without her. I think the hardest part is knowing that I had time. Years and years of time, thousands of ordinary moments when I could have said something, when I could have stopped, looked at her, really looked at her, and said the words that were sitting right there, waiting. But I thought I had more time. I thought there would always be another moment, another dinner, another evening, another quiet Sunday morning. I thought love was patient, and it is, but people aren't infinite. There's a moment I think about sometimes. It was a few months before she got sick. We were sitting on the porch. Late summer, the sun was going down. She was reading. I was just sitting there, not doing anything, and she looked up from her book and said, "Arthur, are you happy?" I didn't know why she was asking. I said, "Sure, why wouldn't I be?" She looked at me for a long time. Then she smiled. That same small, sad smile. And she said, "Good." And she went back to her book. I didn't think about that conversation again until after she died. But now I think about it all the time, because she wasn't asking if I was happy. She was asking if we were happy, if she made me happy, if all of this, the life we built, the years we spent together, if any of it mattered to me the way it mattered to her. And I said, "Sure," like it was nothing, like it was obvious. I don't think it was obvious to her. I think she spent a lot of years wondering if I loved her, wondering if I was glad I married her, wondering if I would have chosen her again if I had the chance. And I would have, 1,000 times, every time. But I never told her that, not until the end. And by then, I don't know if it counted. I've been alone for 17 years now. The house feels bigger than it used to. emptier. Some days I walk through it and I can still feel her here, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the garden outside where she used to plant flowers every spring. I don't plant anything anymore. I don't know how. She was the one who knew how to make things grow. I think about her every single day, not in some romantic movie way. I mean, I think about her the way you think about someone you failed, someone you let down without meaning to, someone you loved but didn't love well enough. And I think about those words, the ones I didn't say. I've carried them with me for 43 years. They haven't changed. They're still exactly the same. Yes, I see you. I see you every day. I'm terrified of losing you. I don't know how to tell you that I need you, because I've spent my whole life pretending I don't need anyone. I say them out loud sometimes. When I'm alone in the house, when it's late and I can't sleep, I say them to the empty room, like she might still be able to hear me somehow, like the words might reach her wherever she is now. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if she can hear me, but I say them anyway, because I need to, because carrying them in silence for this long has been the heaviest thing I've ever done. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't know who's listening. I don't know if anyone is. But I needed to say it out loud. I needed someone to know that I remember, that I know what I did, that I know what I didn't do. I think about young people sometimes, the ones who are just starting out, just getting married, just building a life with someone. And I wonder if they're making the same mistake I made. If they're assuming that being there is the same as being present. If they're so focused on the future that they're missing the person standing right in front of them. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to give you advice, because I don't have the right. I got it wrong. I had 31 years with someone I loved, and I spent most of them half asleep. But I will say this. If there's someone in your life, someone you love, someone you're building a life with, and there are words you've been meaning to say, words that feel too big, or too vulnerable, or too much, don't wait. Don't assume they know. Don't assume there will be another time, because there might not be, and you'll spend the rest of your life carrying those words around, hearing them in your head, feeling the weight of them every single day, knowing exactly what you would have said, knowing exactly how it would have sounded, and knowing that you'll never get the chance to say it. I'm 88 years old. I don't have much time left. I know that, and I'm okay with it. But I'm not okay with the fact that I waited until it was too late. I'm not okay with the fact that she spent years wondering if I saw her, if I loved her, if I would have chosen her again. She deserved better than that. She deserved to be told. Not at the end. Not when she was dying. But every single day, in 1,000 small, unremarkable moments, she deserved to hear the words while they still mattered, while she could still hold them, while they could still change something. I don't get to go back. I don't get to fix it. But maybe you do. Maybe the person you love is still here. Maybe there's still time. Maybe the words you've been holding inside are exactly the words they've been waiting to hear. I hope you say them. I hope you don't wait. I hope you're braver than I was, because I can still remember the exact words I didn't say. and I'll carry them with me until the day I die. If you stayed with me through all of this, thank you. I don't know what you'll take from it. Maybe nothing, maybe something. But if there's someone you need to talk to, someone you need to tell the truth to, I hope you do it. Before it's too late. Before the words become something you carry instead of something you share. Take care of each other while you still can. Thanks for listening my story. If you like my video, please drop a comment and hit like button, and must subscribe to show your support so I can add more stories. Take care.